Hello again. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Nick Sargent here from Knee Sargents. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I kind of teach my clients to squat properly, and then how to build up strength in the leg so they're not putting extra pressure on the knee, and to make sure the quads can actually control the leg as they're running or as they're doing their kind of chosen sport of preference. So to start with, the main thing you want to do is make sure, I'll sit down so you can see me. The main thing you want to do is make sure your knee isn't going past the big toe. Now that's fairly common knowledge, I feel, these days, but it is very important, because if your knee is even going over the slightest bit over your big toe, then that's just going to overload the tendons and the muscle in the quad and the kneecap, and eventually it's going to lead to injury. So one way to do that is to actually do like a squat with your knees kind of relatively, if you put your toes, if you imagine your toes directly underneath a table or a bench, and then that way, there's no way that when you do the squat, you can't cheat by going forward. It automatically pushes you back because your knees can't go any further past that table, if that makes sense. So from here, the reason why you don't go into like a deep squat as far as you can go when you're trying to train yourself is you're more likely to have the incorrect form. So having like a table or a chair or a bench or something to sit back on just gives you the confidence that you can sit back on something or rest if you need to, and gives you a nice reference point so you know that you have something to aim towards too. So to start with, we basically go one leg, touching down, slowly back up, okay? You'll notice here my first instance is that my first movement is to shift backwards like this. A lot of people when they squat, they go forward on their toes. So it's simply just about standing back, touching. You can fully rest if you want, but it's more ideal to kind of go back and to touch like that, and then to come back up. Okay, so really making sure that my knees don't go over my big toe, and pushing back up, using quads, using glutes, and a little bit of quads, mainly glutes if you can. So from there, once you've done about 10 to 15 reps and you've been doing that for a few weeks and you feel like you've got that kind of mastered, what you want to try and do is then go to single leg, which is a lot more difficult. And the key with that is you want to make sure your knee doesn't move side to side. A little bit forward is okay to begin with, but you really again want to make sure the knee is staying nice and in line with the big toe, sticking the butt back and having it nice and controlled. So what you don't want to see is that, making sure it's nice and controlled all the way down and come back up. I can use my left side here to provide a little bit more resistance, or a little bit more support if I'm struggling a bit. But again, so from the front, what you don't want to see is that. You don't want to see that sticking out to the side. Nice and in line. If you can, use your opposite foot just to stabilize, and then come back. Okay, nice and self-controlled all the way down, all the way up. Count your reps, up to 10 or 15. 2 sets is plenty, and this will definitely help build up strength through the quad. If you're using your glutes correctly, you're also going to be able to strengthen the glutes, and this is again just going to strengthen that biomechanical chain down the legs and really make sure that both sides are working evenly and in sync, and hopefully prevent those nasty injuries to the knee and to the rest of the leg. Anyway, thanks for watching again, guys. Make sure you check out my website. I will have some protocols and extra videos up there shortly. I'm just working on a few extra things. And if you have any questions or want me to go through anything, make sure you leave a comment below, and I'll make another video very soon. Thanks, guys.